Hi, in this lesson I'm going to be covering how to use the group policy feature within Windows Server. Group policy is used to add or remove features from users when they log in. So first of all I'm going to go to my Windows 7 machine and we're going to remove the control panel. I've logged on as a user and if you notice it's got the control panel. Underneath computer, above devices and printers, there's the control panel. We may not want users to get this, so we need to be able to remove it when a user logs on. To do that, we go to our Windows Server 2008. Just to give you a quick overview of what I've done, if I go to Active Directory Users and Computers, you'll see that I've created an admin staff OU, and in that I've created a user, the user that I've logged onto the Windows 7 machine as. To do group policy, it's a new feature in Windows 2008 that it's a separate feature here. It used to be accessed differently on previous servers. So to make things easier, they've given us our own group policy management icon. So if we click that, it opens up group policy for us. When you open it for the first time, you just get something that looks like this. There's our virtual domain. So if I click that, then if I go to domains, you'll see virtual there, and then you'll see what is our organizational units from our domains and users. So if I click admin staff, that's where the user I created lives. So to create a group policy, I right click and I do create a group policy object in this domain and link it here. And I'll give it a name, remove control panel. I'll click OK. So it's created a group policy object underneath admin staff. So that means anybody that lives in admin staff will be subject to this group policy. Because the default domain policy is at the top, everything underneath it belongs to that default domain policy, but only admin staff will get the remove control panel. Once we've done that, if you click settings, it'll generate a report and it'll show you what's enabled and what isn't enabled. Well, I haven't done anything at this time, so this report will be empty. So to actually start creating our group policy now, what I need to do is right click and do edit, and it opens up a new interface. And this is where we enable and disable items. There's hundreds and hundreds of settings here. We're going to be doing a user configuration, and we'll go to preferences, Windows settings, and in Windows settings you see a lot of options, and you'll also see a lot of options under control panel. And there's hundreds of things we can do here, but what we're going to do is this time we're just going to enforce it as a policy. So if I go to policy and I go to administrative templates, and I click control panel, you'll see I've got some options here. These options are throughout this, so you just need to go through looking for what you want to enable and disable. What we are going to do is prohibit access to the control panel. So I double click this, and if I go to explain, it tells you all about each feature. It just says this removes control panel from the start menu. So I go to settings and I enable it. And by doing that and clicking OK, I've prohibited access to the control panel. Group policy doesn't update automatically. It's roughly every 15 minutes. But what we can do is force an update with the gpupdate /force command. gpupdate /force. I click OK, and it'll update group policy. It takes a minute or so. Then once group policy is updated, when I go to these settings, these should refresh, and I should see some new features in there. But we'll come out of that for now, and we'll go to the Windows 7 machine. And if I go to start, you'll see we've still got the control panel because this hasn't updated yet. I haven't put the serial number in, so we're not really the victim of counterfeiting. So start, And I'll do GP update force, or logging off and rebooting will enable this as well. But we don't want to be restarting all the time, so I'll force it to update now. GP update /force. And this now will pick up the group policy from our server and apply it to my logon. As I said, you could just log off and back on, and it probably would pick up a new policy. So now if I go to start, and if you notice, between computer and device and printers, it's gone. So now what we've done is we've successfully removed control panel from any user in the admin staff view that logs on. If I go back to administrative tools and group policy management, if I click those settings again, you'll see it's generating the report, and it tells me exactly what I've done. And it says prohibit access control panel. So at any point you can go back and revisit what you've done. And as I mentioned earlier, by right clicking and editing, you'll see all the options you can do. It normally comes under user configuration, and there are hundreds of settings that you can do. And there are settings, for example, that will allow you to set proxy servers and home pages for users when they log on. So that's our lesson concluded on adding group policy. Thank you.